today's feel-good food is brunch cocotte. It's all the flavours you'd associate with a full English breakfast, but less excess and less guilt. And the process is to bake off a couple of eggs with the flavours of bacon, cherry tomato and some dry porcini mushrooms. Okay, I'm going to start with the shallot. We need to get that underway. So Jamie, that's your job. If you can just top and tail, halve and then dice it up nice and small. Ruth, we're going to look at one of our breakfast flavours, the mushrooms.
These are dried porcini mushrooms, aren't they?
They are indeed, and they smell incredible, a really intense flavour.
They smell like smoky bacon crisps.
They do actually, yeah, quite earthy, quite smoky.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can't really use them like that, so what we have to do is hydrate them. So just boiling water straight from the kettle, make sure they're all submerged and they'll rehydrate
It's
in a
working
moment.
quite quickly, isn't it?
It does, and what comes out of it is an amazing stock.
The easiest stock in the world.
It is indeed. So our other flavour that you associate with breakfast is bacon. We're using back rashers so that unlike streaky bacon, it hasn't got the fat running all the way through it. We can take off the rind. So if you want to just cut off any of the sort of obvious excess fat, so just a tiny shot of oil. Have the shallot in there, Jay. I think with a lot of cooking, roast dinners, things like that, it's about having lots of components bringing them together. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you're getting all the components done in one.
Yeah.
Put it in the oven, and then you can leave it 15 minutes. You can make a cup of tea, you can grab an orange juice, read the paper, and then breakfast is ready. So
That's
it's
perfect.
nice and easy.
Plan to me.
Now, if we take our bacon, we've got rid of this excess fat. We don't need that. But if we just strip that up into small pieces.
Okay.
And Jamie, we're going to give you some cherry tomatoes.
There's a lot of tomatoes going into this.
No, and funny you should say that, we don't actually need all of these.
We don't.
We just need a couple, and if you can take them and just quarter them,
Yep.
you just want little pieces at the end, they're just going to sit on top, they'll bake off, they'll go nice and sweet and juicy, and that's exactly what we want. With our shallots slightly softened, beginning to get a bit of colour, nice bit of sweetness, we can add our bacon in there.
I think I've chopped that very well, my bacon.
I think it looks good, nice and even. And even's important because then it will cook together, sort of all at the same time. I'm going to give you some green stuff, just fresh chives, chop those up nice and small.
Could you use like turkey bacon for this, or it's not the same kind of flavour? Because that's even healthier, isn't it?
It isn't even healthier, much leaner, it's a white meat. You can, of course, or you can leave bacon out altogether if you don't want to and have just the flavour of the mushroom and keep it vegetarian.
Yeah.
So there's lots of options and lots of flavours of breakfast that you can put into this, and it's about making it your own, really. Now, our dried mushrooms at this stage, they've been soaking, and we can just drain them off just through a sieve. And look at those now, much, much softer, still the same fantastic flavour.
Yeah.
And all I need you to do is chop those up a little bit. And this stock, that's what we're going to save. Soup, stews, sauces, whatever you want, there's some fantastic options for that. Now just before we put our mushrooms into the pan, you can see there's some fat come out of the bacon there. And with a non-stick pan, what you can do is just wipe that round and get rid of excess grease.
Is it worth investing in a good non-stick pan? Because I've had some terrible ones.
I think so, for two reasons. One, easier to cook, and secondly, much easier to wash up. Nothing sticks to it. So there we go, that's a lot of grease on there. We don't need that, and that can go into our bin, but our mushrooms can now go into the pan.
Okay. And where would you buy porcini mushrooms from? Are they quite easily...
Good point. These are dried ones. You can get them in most supermarkets now, and they keep forever. They just sit in the cupboard, wait until you need them, rehydrate them with a boiling kettle.
Literally for years, or...?
I would reckon so. There's actually nothing in them to go off, so they're just going to stay there for ages and ages. But when you taste this dish, your porcini mushrooms aren't going to last a year. You're going to be making this every weekend. Next up is creme fraiche. Now this is low-fat creme fraiche, so it's about 4 times less fat than something like double cream. Okay, so well worth using that kind of stuff as well. That can go into our dish.
And taste-wise?
Yep.
Just as nice, just as creamy? Or?
It is just as, well, it's very similar creamy, but taste-wise, you've got so much else going on, it's not a problem. We can turn that off. It doesn't need to cook as such, just kind of warm through. And then Jamie, if you can grab our little dishes up there. Just going to season this, a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt.
So these are what you would usually use cocottes for?
Well, any sort of ovenware dish that's individual, okay? If you haven't got these, you could use something like a ramekin, you could use a teacup, whatever is oven-proof, okay?
Love these, they're like miniature casserole dishes.
Yeah, and absolutely perfect for what we need here, one portion. Now, if you can spoon that mixture into the bottom of our dishes, about half into each one.
Oh, it smells amazing.
Now, eggs, the key part of cocotte. All we need to do is crack one of those into each of these. It just sits on top.
Can I just say I've got a phobia of cracking eggs because I always get them wrong. Not an actual physical phobia, but I'm quite scared of it. Ooh.
Okay, in that case, if you're not comfortable just tapping it on the side, take it in the hand and just give it a tap, quite firm to go through, and then just break it gently over there. So give that a go. If you're not confident tapping, the knife just helps that. And again, perfect. No trouble at all. Arrange a few tomatoes around the yolk, maybe 3 or 4 in each one. A little bit of our chive, Go on top of there.
This would be great for people that can't do poached eggs like me, because I find those so difficult to get quite right.
Yeah, this is a much easier way. You just set the timer. You don't have to worry about swirling water or putting in the vinegar or the salt. It's all baked in, but it gives you a very similar result. Set time, really, really easy. Okay?
Fantastic.
And of course, you can make these way ahead of time. So what you could do is put all this together, the cold, sort of mushroomy creme fraiche, then the egg, tomato, could be cling filmed and put in the fridge now. Do them the night before, so you can be way ahead. You can be way ahead.
So you could have friends come over for brunch on Sunday morning. You do it the night before, and you get your lie in.
And you get your lie in, which is perfect. At this point, we make a Bain-Marie around our eggs, so half fill up with water. And then, Jamie, if they can go into the oven, it's 180 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes, and then they're ready to eat. There we go, that's all it needs.
Wow.
Ready to go as they are. If we just fish these out, still be warm, but they can go straight to the table.
So the egg's still slightly runny.
Still slightly runny, hopefully a slightly runny yolk.
Yeah, just
but
how I
all
like
that
it.
beautiful creme fraiche underneath. Have a taste, see what you think. And as you break into it, you should get all the smell of the mushrooms from underneath.
Mm.
Now that's a breakfast.
It is. I love the fact there's no bread in this.
Yeah, so it's low carb as well.
Yeah.
Although, would be nice to have a little soldier to dunk into it.
Or asparagus.
Or asparagus. A very fancy starter as well.
So what makes this feel good food then?
This is feel-good food because of the intense flavours, all the amazing combinations of flavours you have in full English, but guilt-free and lower in fat.
Perfect.
For the full list of recipe and ingredients, head to sortedfood.com.
And for more feel good food, don't forget to subscribe to Body Talk.